Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? It's your boy Demo the Don, aka God Demo. Back in the house again, back in the thing again, doing what I do the best, doing what I do the most. Keep it real. And kind of how you feel, I can't do that. I can't afford to care how people feel when they don't care about anything else. It's one of those type of situations, man, where either you're going to accept the truth of the matter or you're going to keep falling for the same stuff over and over and over again. And that's not something that I can condone. I'll allow it, but I can't condone it because it's not part of who I am. And you've been lied to because of the fanatical portions of your religion, you know, for so long. You have to think about it. Your religion is based on the fanatical points of it and not the actual path that you're supposed to be walking. So that's why like I respect like Buddhists so much because for them it's not about the fanatical portions of it. It's about the path that they chosen. And even though the deity that's in charge, the deity that whose name they're using is messed up because it's not actual Buddha that they're looking at. That's why like idolatry is the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Why you're not supposed to make images and whatnot, of deities because these deities they have to reveal themselves to you. So that's why I was like, let me reveal myself to the world, Jehovah. And let them know that the people who are using my name as a religion, that's not where it's at. That's a cult using my name. It's not a religion, it's a cult using my name. When you base your religion only and mainly on the fanatical portions, it becomes a cult. That's why Muslim, Christianity, Catholicism, and so on and so forth are the way they are because they're based on the fanatical portions of the religion and not you know the actual path that it's on. So as I'm going through, I'm letting people know, hey, I'm the door, I'm the door, I'm the door. So and then you have no imagination, for real, for real. You have a lot of delusionals but not a lot of imagination. So let's take it this way. You're in a maze, a completely dark maze inside of a labyrinth, inside of a cave. Now, in between that, is this is where a lot of people get stuck at right here. There's a brief opening with some sunlight and some fresh air, and you'll get stuck there. And even though you haven't made your way out the labyrinth or the cave, you'll stand there at that brief moment of fresh air, of sunlight, and try to stay there and stick there when you have to go through this tunnel. And, that's why, like, Lord Jesus Christ is the way he is, you know what I'm saying? Because, to you, he'll seem like a little bitty lightning bug or, those flashing bugs, with the light on them, lightning bugs. They'll seem like a little, flea or something like that to you. But in actuality, it's a big, huge flashlight that he's flashing from far away. And he's trying to lead you through the cave, through the tunnel, so that way you can come out and be with everybody else. But you're so afraid to come out that cave, to leave that one little spot of sunshine that you end up getting rained on, snowed on, everything, while trying to stand in that one little spot. And instead of making your way to and through the cave so you can make your way out, you'll stick to what you find comfortable, which is that little bit of sunshine and fresh air. And you got all these people out here that's manipulating you because of it, and because they see that, they know that, and they'll use that against you. And that's why I'm like, I had to bring out the four smarts. There's book smarts, street smarts, social smarts, and tactical smarts. And a lot of these people, their tactics are simple, and that's only to hurt and manipulate other people. And with such a simple strategy in mind, simple mentality, it creates a simple strategy. And that strategy is to play on your ego, empathy, and sympathy. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because as what I'm doing, I'm opening up the chakra flow through you. And as I open up the chakra flow through you, you'll forcibly close it. You forcibly close your chakra flow, and through fear, because we all know fear blocks your chakra flow. You should know that. Since you're so smart, you're so intelligent, you're so spiritually adept. I don't even understand that word. So that's a whole nother problem with this going on with everybody, is that you don't understand a lot of words. And so every other word you have to stop and spell it out for someone. And you think that's okay? That through having any type of dialogue with someone, you have to stop and spell out every other word you use, because the person whom you talking to has a low vocabulary and can't keep up with the conversation due to the low vocabulary. And like I said, this stuff that I'm saying to y'all is not to bring you down, but to point out where your weaknesses lie, so that way you can strengthen them. You know, uh, you shouldn't be trying to use these weaknesses as a strength anyway, which is what a lot of people are doing right now these days. That's why you got all these fugly people doing whatever they can do to bring up their own self worth, because they're fugly. And when you're freakishly ugly, no one really wants to look at you. So you have to find something to give them, which is auditory. You have to give them something to listen to. And so you got these fugly people trying to sing. You got these fugly people trying to be suggestive. And that's what it is that their value, as far as like face value, is gone, because they have no face value. They're fugly. Just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I meant to insult you. Because simple fact of the matter is, you have to find something other than being a bia to make your way, because it's bringing out so much negative energy towards everybody that no one wants to even listen to each other these days, because everybody's rah rah and forcing themselves on and everybody, and that's the whole thing about it, is that when you're dealing with the person, you have to understand who you're dealing with. So same thing with teachers. We have to understand who our students are. And a lot of teachers have lost their way in that. They're too prone, too fixated on the lesson, that they forget to fixate on the student, and that the student each student learns differently. You have the students who can learn purely visual, purely hands-on, purely, none of you learn auditorily, or auditorily. None of you learn auditorily. You don't listen for nothing. And that's a big problem too in itself, is that like I said, you don't have any auditory learning skills, so you don't listen ever. So because of this lack of learning skills, a lot of things that you're supposed to learn, you don't, because you never listened when the lesson was taught auditorily and not visually or hands-on. So if you're not have an open ear, open mind, open heart, open eyes to take in information, then you're going to miss a lot of information. And that's the point where I'm trying to get to y'all, is that you've been missing a lot of information due to that brain dysfunction that you have, that malfunction of ego, false pride, that sinful mentality, and that proud sinner blasphemous idolatry behavior. You know, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got a lot going on. So you're being blasphemous, and you're being proud sinners and idolaters all at once, and this has caused you a lot of frustrations because it leaves you in the dark. And when you're in the dark like that, you're frustrated because you don't know which way to go. You don't know how to get out. You're panicking constantly, and a lot of people, that's what's going on with a lot of people. They're panicking constantly because they can see no way out. And then with all these fake gurus out here, these ministers and preachers, fake preachers and stuff, trying to lead you the wrong way with selfish and inconsiderate advice and suggestions that leads you to nowhere and a lot of negative outcomes and effects. That's what's going to happen. This is what's going on. This is the truth of the situation that a lot of people are trying to neglect and ignore and pretend as if it's not real. And you see what it's doing for you so far, right? Or are you still trying to stay blind? You're trying to force yourself to be blind. And that's going to take away that sense of sight from you. And it's going to take away the sense of hearing from you. And it's going to take, a lot of things from you. When you forcibly try to keep yourself from learning, from growing, from evolving, from advancing. See, and this is why I call it penny ante. This is why it is penny ante. A lot of you will not see. Penny is epiphany, right? That is the moment, that thing, that light comes on in your head, and you get the understanding of a realization of reality. One more time, you get the full understanding, or not the full, but you get some understanding of a realization of reality, and that is an epiphany. Ding, that light comes on, and then your acknowledgement is your ante. A lot of you don't acknowledge things. When you don't acknowledge things, you can't identify them because you have not to acknowledge them. So let's take these words, effective and efficient. See, a lot of people don't understand that those two words, effective and efficient, and they haven't acknowledged those words, effective and efficient. So because they haven't acknowledged effective and efficient, those thoughts doesn't burrow through their head as they think, as they go, as they act, as they behave, as they talk, as they influence, as they do whatever they're doing. Effective and efficient isn't there because they haven't acknowledged it. So that's why it's like vocabulary. If you don't acknowledge words for what they are, then you won't get the full picture. You won't get the point, you won't get the understanding, and you'll be stuck asking that question that everybody's asking now. What does that mean? So, and that's the thing about me right there, is that, I'm comprised of a lot of different elements. Excalibur, meaning that I'm going to lecture you on a boring level because I don't have time to have jokes a lot of time to wake you up. And because of how you all are, where it's only self-interests and entertainment that you're seeking, when there is a lecture going on, when there's nothing but information, you'll blank out. That's why, and that's why your attention span is so low, because of self-interests and whatnot. And you're not wanting entertainment, self-interest and entertainment. And that's the only thing you seek is self-interest and entertainment. And you can put them together, separate them however you want to do it. But it's those two things. And so when someone is giving you a lecture, or, and they're just talking, is monologuing, and there are so many points of not personal self-interest involved, you'll miss all of that was said that was outside of your personal self-interest and entertaining. And you'll miss a lot of what was said, and it becomes misinterpreted what was said in the lesson. Real talk, real talk. I just like to throw things like that out there to people because I don't like misunderstandings. I really don't. And with all of these misunderstandings going around because of selfishness and inconsideration being the normal, a lot of things is getting, misunderstood. A lot of confusion is going on, and nobody's getting no messages across, no lessons across. Nobody's being heard, and everything's falling on deaf ears. Because of these factors, these facets, these aspects of life, these emotions that you're trying to ignore and neglect, which are sins. Okay? And with these sins, that's why I'm like, I don't preach religion. I just preach about certain aspects and factors and facets that could be harmful to you. Because when you close off your chakra like you do and your energy, you isolate your spirit someplace that it doesn't need to be, and it will forcibly make its way out of that place, and that will create holes in you. So just the same as lying to yourself creates holes in you, when you close yourself off, you create holes in you, because your spirit goes right back to your subconscious to do what it needs to do. It needs to go to work. It needs that sense of completion, which is working for your benefit. And with you giving benefits to doubt, then you can't give benefits to your subconscious, your spirit. And when you can't give benefits to your subconscious, your spirit, the acknowledgments of truth and facts go way over your head. You feel what I'm saying? So if you could keep up, maybe you kept up, and that's why I can understand why certain people, when they come to me, they be like, "Nah, bro, I'll be having to stop and write some stuff down that you be putting down, because this is the stuff that you need to study and really, get inside your brain to where you can move better." That's why the spells that I've cast, they aren't for the people who's watching. They're for the people who's not watching. So the more you fight it, either way it go, it's going to hurt you more. Your brain function will start to limit, because you're forcing yourself to limit your brain function. And that's why the spiritual warfare is going my way, such it is, because I live and dwell in truth, not in stupidity, not in ignorance, not in doubt like you do. See, a lot of your trust, your faith is in doubt, and that's your first go-to. Every time someone says something to you, the first thing that comes to your instinct, your intuition, is to doubt it immediately. That is your instinct and your intuition. So if that is your instinct and your intuition, why would I listen to your feelings as if they could have something real coming from them? Because a lot of your doubt and disbelief comes from your hate and your jealousy of what you can't do, that you're upset that you can't do, but you're also proud that you're not doing it. It makes no sense, but leave it to you. You'll try to force some sense out of it when there is none. And that's what humans do. They try to excuse themselves for everything they do that's wrong, that's misplaced, that's misguided. You try to make an excuse for it. And, to you, that's the way you're supposed to be. But to everyone with a brain and a heart who wants progress, it's not. And so, it just shows that there aren't many people on this planet that actually wants to evolve, that actually wants peace, that actually wants love, that actually wants loyalty, that actually wants respect. And not just for themselves, but for everybody. They want that actual equality. There's not very many people who want actual equality. They'll say that they want these things because it sounds good, but their actions display that they really don't, because at every chance they get, they're deflecting, they're misleading, they're taking you from anything that's peaceful or respectful or loyal or anything like that of that nature, because they want it for themselves and none for no one else. That's a bad mentality to have. But leave it to you. You'll try to excuse it, justify, defend, protect it, condone it, and try to say that you're a good person because you condoned such inconsideration, such selfishness, because it was that person's personal opinion to be that way. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm doing what I can to make it make sense. However, you'll fight against it because that's what you know, is to be rebellious and disobedient. That's what you do know. And because of that's what you do know, that's what you'll behave as, rebellious and disobedient. Yeah, because of your hate and jealousy that brings out this instability within yourself that causes you to have nothing but doubt and disbelief in anything that you see, hear, feel, bleed, touch, anything. You have nothing but doubt in it. So, and where is this directive coming from? The church. The church. See, if you follow cowards, what's going to happen is that you're going to try subliminally to be a bigger coward than them. If you follow con men, you're going to subliminally try to be a bigger con man than them, because that's who you look up to. And for all students, it is to surpass the teacher. I know. This is a harsh reality check that a lot of people aren't going to be able to deal with. So that's why I had to let you know, Prince Handsome Ike Hansen, shove that blue pill down your throat. And if you want to take the red pill, that's fine. I got this raw steak with all that squashed up beef on top of it, with a can of whoop ass and a misery cake for you. So you can either eat that sandwich, so you can take that blue pill and wash it down with a can of Get Right, or you take that red pill and you get that raw steak, squashed up beef, a misery cake, and a can of whoop ass. And that's just how the cookie crumbled. That's just how the rock rolls. That's just how it goes down. Period. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I want to cancel out a lot of the middleman. Because as the Lord of the Underworld, I have to sit there and explain this crap to you over and over and over, and to individuals over and over and over again. So that's why I came up in my mind to make these videos, so that way some of the things that I have to say when you pass, I can say it now. So that way you got the full understanding before you get there, that this is going to be the situation. This is going to be the case. This is what's going to happen, is that I'm going to be evaluated for all of my deeds. And if my evaluation comes out that all of your deeds are wicked and with pride, then you know where you're going. You should know which way you're going. So you don't have to ask that question no more about where am I going, when you pass. Well, your deeds. Look at your deeds. If your deeds are all wicked and messed up, then you should know where you're going. If you have nothing but good intentions and you did good things without a cookie every time you did something good, then you know where you're going. You know, that's the whole thing about it, is that a lot of people are looking for a handout constantly, and they'll do a good deed here and here just to get that handout. Yeah, sometimes it works, a lot of times it don't, because people don't have gratitude for help. So that just is what it is, man. You have to accept truth for what it is at some point or another if you plan to be an adult. See, that's a whole lot of problems, with a lot of people. You got manhood, and a lot of people take manhood as gender. But no, manhood is just being responsible, period. And then you go to adulthood, which is to truly be responsible for yourself completely. And then you could start reaching godliness and godhood. See, a lot of people haven't even reached manhood yet, let alone adulthood, let alone godliness, let alone godhood. But they're claiming that they're a full blown God without information, without any type of knowledge, without any type of understanding about anything, life, spirit, anything. Because if anyone was to tell me that heaven or hell is a state of mind alone, that lets me know that you have no connection. You have no association, you have no connection. So if you don't stand for something, which is a foundation of information, then you'll fall for any information given to you, as long as there's rainbows and sunshine. Truth. Just a bunch of truth that I would like to throw out there and give you, for the sake of, because I don't care. Don't care. Look, you being the way that you are, it does more for me. It benefits me more than it does anything else. So, it's not, I don't have to, go ham about giving you this information. You should go ham about getting it, you know. But, because of the ass backwards mentality and behavior and mode of operation that you got going on, that type of thought doesn't cross your mind, does it? Okay, that's why a lot of the times I didn't think about that. I didn't think about this. What does that mean? I don't understand. Because you're not accepting information like you should. Your penny ante is not on task like it should. But you're being petty ante all day long. Just petty pokey poo. Petty pokey poo. And it's a shame how much of a crank anchor you are. Petty wine, because that's what you do. Petty wine, pokey poo, crank yanker, best divas, PBMJs, band sans hands. You deserve those awards. Okay, so how about you put on a brand new pair of shoes? Papa got a brand new shoes. Ow! I just wanted to end, because I am who I am, and regardless of who you think I am, which you cannot tell me who I am because you're not in my brain, you're not in my mind, you're not in my body. You haven't experienced the experiences that I've experienced as I've experienced them. You've only experienced your experiences the way you've experienced them. And if you haven't did anything or much, then that's how much experience that you really have. And that's how much knowledge you really have. Because you're only going to experience the things that you seek to experience. And a lot of you seek to experience the couch, the bed, the television, entertainment, and slothliness. Just laying around doing nothing every day, all day. You're not even using this muscle, let alone the rest of them. You know the outro. You love you, we love you, forgetting it, messing it over, image, you fighting for it, pay no attention to nothing, but you blissfully ignorant out there and you forgot that knowledge is power. I got time, energy, effort, your three most important things. You forgot about you didn't even know that. You didn't know nothing about your frequency, your vibration, or your resonance. And then they're trying to lead you backwards about it all while you're clapping and having a good, blissfully ignorant time with following the instructions of morons. What's up, Doc? Don't feed the ops.